and thank you. Welcome to Thursday Night Football with Calvin Dean, sponsored by the NFL Network. Week 14, people, is upon us, and boy, do we have a great game for you tonight. We have the New England Patriots, 6-6, against the Los Angeles Rams, going into SoFi Stadium in sunny, little chilly today in Los Angeles. It's a gorgeous day. This is going to be such a fun game to watch. I can't wait because there's a reason for it. Bill Belichick is just infamous on playing rookie quarterbacks like he did last week. He took this red-hot He-Bear and he just tore him apart. Bill Belichick is just a mastermind at that. Everyone, including myself, called Los Angeles Chargers to win that game, but no, 45-0. Oh my God, New England looks stout. That's for sure. They look stout and they look good. They look really, really good. Today's game is going to be a little different. They're playing the Los Angeles Rams, not the Chargers. The Chargers don't really have the best coaches. That's just my opinion. They are always losing. I have no idea what's going on with the Chargers. They do have some good talent, not great talent. We have a lot of people that are hurt on the Los Angeles Chargers. That has something to do with it as well. But the 45-0 shellacking that the New England Patriots handed to the Chargers last week is an embarrassment to the coaching staff. That's for sure. The next thing that we're going to talk about, people, is all about Thursday Night Football. The New England Patriots coming into Los Angeles again and playing the Los Angeles Rams this time. It's not going to be that easy to beat the Rams. It just isn't. The Rams defense is ranked third. Second. The Los Angeles Rams defense is ranked second in the NFL. That's how stout they are. Cam is going to have his hands full to try to do anything against this defense. And I'm telling you that the defense of the Patriots looked all real last week, didn't they? They're number 12 out of 32 teams. So they're in the halfway between, they're doing good. They're not like they used to be, but they did show some promise last week. But they did play the Los Angeles Chargers, who are like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. They're great one week and they're terrible the next. And they just need new coaching staffs. Sorry, Mr. Lynn, you do. You need to be fired. Next, we have to talk offense. The Patriots' offense is 22nd in the NFL. 22nd, guys. Now, out of 32 teams, they're 22nd. So it's not that good. It really isn't. It's all on Cam Newton's shoulders. They have to contain Cam Newton. If you contain his running ability, then you're going to contain Cam Newton. His passing ability is just, it's going to be hampered today because there's a reason why. The Los Angeles Rams defense, you have one of the best defenses in the NFL. You have Aaron Donald. He's just this wrecking ball who's just going to wreck the offensive line of the New England Patriots tonight. They're just not going to be able to hold him in. And the Rams defense, their safeties and their corners, Jalen Ramsey, I don't know, guys. You just can't beat the defense. There's three great defenses. There's Pittsburgh Steelers, there's the Baltimore Ravens, and it's the Los Angeles Rams. Three great defenses right there. And it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for Mr. Cam Newton to actually play against this team, especially in Los Angeles. It's not going to be the Chargers. It's not going to be like last week. I can guarantee you that. And so we have the number 2 defense against the number 12 defense. We have the number 3 offense. Wow, hello, against number 22 offense. So that's we have the passing attack. You know why they're 22nd in the league? Because Cam Newton and company is number 30 in passing. 30 out of 32 games. That's terrible. That's terrible. I'm sorry. You really have to do something about that. Like I said, the Los Angeles Rams are not the Los Angeles Chargers. So if you think you're going to roll on them like you did last week, another thought coming. Just wipe it all out, guys. Look at their record. Seriously, look at the Los Angeles Rams record, and you look at the New England Patriots record. And I told everyone in the beginning of the year, the Patriots are going to have a hard time even getting to 500. They're going to have a hard time to getting to 500 this year. And they're going to have even really hard time getting into the playoffs. I can guarantee you that. Because tonight's game, they are going to lose tonight's game. They're going to lose. And they're going to lose badly tonight. Very badly. The Los Angeles Rams are going to beat the New England Patriots. Los Angeles Rams are going to be 9-4 at the end of this game, and the Patriots are going to be 6-7, licking their wounds, going back to New England. I'm sorry, but I can guarantee you that is a lock. A lock. I'm giving you guys a lock for tonight's game. Tonight's game is a lock. Seriously. The Rams will beat the New England Patriots. I can guarantee you that. Guaranteed. The next game, Sunday, we have the Tampa Bay Bucks, 7-5, going against the Minnesota Vikings. They're playing at home, Tampa Bay is. In Florida. They're going to have fans. Don't get me going on that one. If I lived in Florida, I wouldn't be living in Florida, that's for sure. So the Minnesota Vikings are going into Tampa Bay. Just be careful, guys, because Miami is just it's just sprawled with COVID, and they have a governor there that doesn't give a shit about the citizens. He wants to lie to all the citizens. And, it's okay. You don't have to wear a mask, all that stuff. I mean, if you listen to that, man, you're going to get COVID and possibly die. So I just want to let everyone in on that one. But we got the Vikings who are looking really good. Kirk Cousins really looking good. Tom Brady and company are going to run the tables at the end of the year. They're going to run the tables, and this is the start of the running the tables. They're going to beat the Minnesota Vikings. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will have a field day against the Minnesota Vikings. It's going to be a lopsided game, very lopsided. Tampa Bay over the Minnesota Vikings on this one. We have the next game, which is a real interesting game. We have the Arizona Cardinals. They're 6-6 now, and they're going into the Giants Stadium, the New York Football Giants Stadium, MetLife Stadium. And, I mean, it's going to be one of those games, you know. The Cardinals, lately, I think it was after Kyler Murray got hurt. He hurt his shoulder, and I think something's up with that shoulder. I really do, because his passing has not been the same. He's been throwing behind receivers, and something's going on with Kyler Murray and his passing game. And I'm fearing that. And the New York Football Giants, they've been on fire lately. Fire. Their defense has been great. They're 5-7. They're in first place, tied for first place with the Washington Football Team. But, I mean, they look really good. The Giants are just coming back. I mean, they look, how can you say looking really good at 5-7? Think about that, people. Think about that. And you have the Cardinals, on the other hand. They've been just faltering as of late. Faltering. And, it's been embarrassing in a way. I mean, I think the Cardinals are better than that. And the Giants are just playing out of their minds lately. Their defense is coming through. And I'm telling you that, Gallman looks great. I mean, their wideouts look great. I mean, just, wow, And the Cardinals, Kyler Murray hasn't been looking so good lately. I mean, if you have Kyler Murray on your fantasy football team, last few games, it hasn't been too pretty, that's for sure. So, definitely. This game is an up-in-the-air game. I mean, you have the Arizona Cardinals going into the New York Football Giants Stadium in New York. And it's going to be one of those games. And I'm going to give this game to the visitors. Arizona Cardinals over the New York Football Giants in this one. New York Football Giants will come down to earth. They're going to come down to earth in this game. They're going to show their true colors. And the Cardinals are just going to roll over the New York Football Giants. Sorry, New York, but they're going to roll on you. Okay, we have the Kansas City Chiefs. They've been looking good. They look great, but they haven't been looking too good. They lucked out against the Denver Broncos last week. And, that's the key in beating them. Let them come down the field really quickly. That's fine. But under the 20-yard line, they have zero running game. Hilaire, he doesn't run good under the 20. And their running game. So, so their speed that they have, the deep speed, when you're under 20 yards, you can actually defend that better, that speed better, with some great zone defensing and then even man-to-man. I'm telling you something, that's the way to beat that team. I could see a team beating that team in the playoffs, playing them that way. And then you have the Miami Dolphins, flying high Miami Dolphins at 8-4, Kansas City Chiefs 11-1. Kansas City going into Miami. It's a hard place, guys. It's a hard place to go into and beat. And this is going to be the upset special of the week right here. I'm going to announce the upset special of the week. The Miami Dolphins will beat the Kansas City Chiefs in Miami on Sunday, guaranteed. This is a lock upset. Wow. I mean, that's mind-boggling. The Miami Dolphins, picking the Miami Dolphins or the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow, that's cahoons on that one. And I really believe that Miami has the team to beat the Chiefs. I really do, especially in Miami. The way Kansas City's been playing, I think Miami has a chance to beat them. And it's going to be a close game. They're going to pull it out at the end. I could just see it happening. So if you're giving a lot of points to the Dolphins, if you're a betting person, bet on the Dolphins. And I don't know what the point spread is that win, but I'm sure the Kansas City Chiefs are probably giving them like 8 or 9 points, something like that. Take the Miami Dolphins in that one, that's for sure. Next game, we have the Tennessee Titans going into the Jacksonville Jags at 1-11. The Jags looking like the Jags. They just try very hard. Tennessee lost big time last week against the Browns. I mean, the Browns just went out and sprinted, and then the Titans came back at the end, but it was all junk. Touchdowns and stuff near the end of the game. The game wasn't really that close. So, and the Browns definitely proved that they are a force to be reckoned with. And but the Kansas City Chiefs too, they look okay last week, and that's why I'm giving it to Miami. But I'm talking Titans against the Jags. Titans are going to come back in this game. They're going to come back from last week, and they're going to beat the Jacksonville Jags in Jacksonville, and the Titans will end up 9-4 at the end of this game. We have the next game. We have the Dallas Cowboys going into the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals 9-1. They don't have, they don't have Joe Burrow. They don't have Mixon. It's an ugly game. Dalton looked good last week. He did. He played very well. I was very impressed the way Dalton played against the Ravens. I was very impressed, and they kept it close, very close. I'm giving the Cowboys in this one. Cowboys will be 4-9 at the end of this game. The next game, we have the Houston Texans going into the Chicago Bears. The Bears 5-7. They should be really 4-8. The Bears, they're terrible. Their offense is just horrendous. And the Texans are going to go into Chicago, and they're going to beat the Chicago Bears. At the end of this game, the Texans will be 5-8. Chicago will be 5-8 at the end of this game. Now, this next game is interesting. It's an interesting game because we have McCaffrey back. And that's huge. That's huge. And the Teddy Bridgewater, McCaffrey, they're going to be in Carolina. We have the Broncos who played lights out against the Kansas City Chiefs. Wow. I mean, they just kept them to one touchdown. If you could tell anyone, hey, the Broncos are going to keep the Kansas City Chiefs out of the end zone, they're going to keep them only to one touchdown, I'd probably say you're crazy. But they did. Hats off to the Broncos on that one. This is going to be a tough game for the Panthers. It's going to be a tough game because the Broncos are all that and then some when it comes to defense. But I think the Panthers are going to pull this one out. But the Broncos are definitely going to keep it close. This is going to be a very close game, guys. This is going to be like a last-second field goal. And the Panthers are going to win. But this is going to be a really tight game. Drew Lock looks great. Hats off to Drew Lock. The next game, we have the New York Football Jets. Should I say that? Or it's more like the New York Football Giants. I know. So we got Joe Willie Namath Jets. How about that one? Huh? Joe Willie Namath Jets. I like that one. Anyway, we have the Jets going into Seattle. Seattle looking terrible last week. Terrible. I just don't know what's wrong with them. It's their running game. When their running game's not there, and they're, just stopping them. Their offensive line looks terrible. Terrible. And the Jets, they should have won last week. They should have won. They lost against the Raiders, and it was a terrible, it was like 12, 14 seconds left. Carr did a heck of a job to get out of it. I don't consider that like a Hail Mary. They were all saying it was a Hail Mary. It wasn't really a Hail Mary. Hail Mary is just shooting it up and wishing that someone's going to catch it. But Carr, he was in the pocket. He stepped up. He saw that Ruggs had this, the defender one-on-one, and he just threw a beautiful pass to Ruggs. And Ruggs touchdown, and, the Las Vegas Raiders beat him. And then they fired the defensive coordinator at the end of the game. He blitzed them. And that's what happened. They caught the blitz. Carr stepped up and he destroyed them. But I'm telling you something, Las Vegas Raiders don't look that good either. They barely beat the New York Jets. The Jets look really good. And I just can't see the Seattle Seahawks losing again. I'm picking the Seattle Seahawks in this game. The Jets will end up 0-13 at the end of this game. Wow. Hello, Trevor Lawrence. You're going to New York. We have the next game. We have the Indianapolis Colts, 8-4, going into Las Vegas Raiders after that huge win. This last-second win against the New York Jets. I just think the Colts are a better team on this one. I really do. But, the Raiders are going to be at home. They just won. I don't think Jacobs is going to be back. So, that's a big, big loss. It looks like saying the Minnesota Vikings lose Cook, right? And that's, Dalvin Cook, whenever the Minnesota Vikings don't have Dalvin Cook or Thielen, you notice how their passing game gets diminished and then their running game gets diminished. Well, the same thing goes with the Las Vegas Raiders and Jacobs. Booker, Cook took over, but he's not a Jacobs, that's for sure. So this is going to be a tough game. I'm a huge Colts believer. I think their defense is just amazing. Phillip Rivers has been just instrumental and just moving that offense from down the field. And guess who's back? Their wideouts are back, and they've been playing really, really, really well. So that's something to think about. That's for sure. Because T.Y. Hilton has been starting to heat up. If T.Y. Hilton starts to heat up, wow, man, watch out, guys. And then Jonathan Taylor, wow. And then they have Hines, wow, Pittman, Pascal, Jack Doyle. Guys, this team is dangerous. If T.Y. Hilton starts heating up, oh, wow. I'm telling you, the Colts in this game. Colts in this game, guys. Indianapolis Colts against the Las Vegas Raiders. Trust me. Trust me on this one. Next game, we have the I was going to say New York Football Giants, but they're tied for first with the New York Football Giants, and it's the Washington Football Team. And the Washington Football Team they look great. They look great. What a defense. Their defense is just amazing. Chase Young, that guy's a beast. He's a beast. Oh my God, the way he hit Burrows at one time, right before Burrows got hurt. Oh my God, the guy's just, seriously, he's a beast, guys. I wouldn't want to be hit by him. I really wouldn't. And I think the Washington Football Team is, they're, like I said, first place, tied first with the New York Football Giants. And that team, Washington Football Team, looks really good. And the 49ers, they're just, hot and cold Niners, the Niners, their defense is sixth with everyone hurt. They're ranked sixth. And the Washington Football Team is ranked fourth. And the offense on the Niners is 14th. The Washington offense is ranked 26th. It's just everything looks to the San Francisco 49ers in this one. The statistics, and if you're looking at the score, paper, but man, the Washington Football Team, guys, they've been playing lights out. They're going to be without Gibson. That's kind of worrisome. That's worrisome, and they just. But guess who's coming back in? Guess who's coming back in, guys? Coming back to San Francisco and playing his old team. Wow. I know he first started in San Francisco, and then he went from San Francisco to Kansas City, right? And then from Kansas City to Washington. Alex Smith, man, he just looks amazing from that terrible injury he had. And I'm telling you guys, the Washington Football Team, they're dangerous. And they're going to stop San Francisco. Their defense is going to just stop them. I don't know if Mullins can handle the Washington Football Team defense. I just don't think he can. It's going to be tough. It's going to be a real tough game. This is going to be a low-scoring game, very low-scoring game. On paper, the San Francisco 49ers look like they're going to win this game. But that Washington Football Team, that's so good. And Alex Smith back at home where he began. I'm going to give this game to the Washington Football Team. Oh, the San Francisco 49ers. I'm sorry, Nikki, up in San Francisco. Your team is a great team. They're hurt. But this game, you have the flying high Washington football team. I know they're 5-7, but they've been playing out of their minds lately. So I'm going to give this to the Washington football team over the San Francisco 49ers. Next game, we have the Saints 10-2 against the 3-8-1 Eagles. They just benched Carson Wentz. Wow. And then, Carson Wentz is benched. And Jalen Hurts is going to be playing for Mr. Wentz. Doesn't really matter. I mean, Philadelphia defense is really good. And this is going to be an upset. I'm going to give this to the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the rookie's going to come out and he's going to win. And the Eagles are going to have their stout defense. They're going to stop the Saints. They're going to force Mr. Hall to pass the ball. And the Eagles are going to win this game. Eagles over the New Orleans Saints. Wow, that's a huge game. And then we have the Falcons against the Chargers. I just don't know about this game. I mean, the Falcons against the Chargers. Which teams are going to show up? Well, the real Falcons are going to show up? Question mark. Will the real Chargers going to show up? Question mark. It's going to be in Los Angeles. It's such an iffy game. Just an iffy game. I'm going to give this to the Atlanta Falcons. The way the Chargers played last week was pathetic. And I think they'll probably continue being pathetic. And not as pathetic, but, pretty much so. I think the Falcons probably will win it with a last-second touchdown. It'll be close. Ugly game, but close. And then we have the Green Bay Packers going into the Detroit Lions. I'm sorry, Detroit. You just disappoint me. I don't see you winning this game. I just don't see you winning. The Packers are just on such a huge roll. Mr. Rogers is coming into town, and I'm sorry, Detroit. I'm sorry. If you had a different team, I would love to just call your number on this one, but it's not going to happen. Green Bay Packers over Detroit Lions. So we have Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers playing in Rich Stadium, Buffalo Bills. Pittsburgh coming off their first loss of the season against a team, the Washington football team, great defense. And the Pittsburgh Steelers are a little hurt now. Got beat up a little playing that team. Now they got to play the Buffalo Bills in Buffalo. Oh boy. Pittsburgh going to lose their second game in a row. Pittsburgh Steelers are going to lose their second game in a row. The Buffalo Bills over the Pittsburgh Steelers in this game. Sorry, Steeler fans, but you're going to get beat again. The next game will be, drumroll, the Baltimore Ravens going into Cleveland. Cleveland just looking stout. I mean, wow. Did Baker Mayfield look all world? I am calling Baker Mayfield out. He is just looks like he's just a world beater. I have no words to express how great this kid has been playing. Just Baker Mayfield, man, I've been eating my words. I'm glad I eat my words because finally, you're showing who you are, man. You have been just on fire. Man, seriously, this is a dangerous team, guys. Dangerous team, and Baltimore's got to play them. Oh, but Baltimore's defense is just amazing. And the Baltimore Ravens, they just came to play this last week, and they kept it on the ground, and that ground game of the Baltimore Ravens is just, amazing. Lamar Jackson. But guess what? They're going to have Andrews back this week. Andrews is back this week. They need Andrews. The Baltimore Ravens, they need that tight end. They just need him. Without Andrews, they're a different team. And they're a different team this year. They got rid of their other tight end, last year. What do they have? Luke? This year, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. When they lost those tight ends, they used to have these 3 amazing tight ends. And, it was just, what a great system. But now they really have only one. I just don't see them doing well without Mr. Andrews. And they have Mr. Andrews back. In this game, it's a Monday Night Football game. Lamar Jackson, Monday Night Football in Cleveland against the Cleveland Browns. And they have been just looking all world lately, man. Baker Mayfield he's stepping up. He is just stepping up. And that defense of the Browns, wow. It's unbelievable. This is going to be a great game. One great defense against another great defense. And then you have Lamar Jackson going against Baker Mayfield. This is going to be an exciting game. It could be a wild, high-scoring game where they both just going at each other that way. Or it could just be a ground attack, grind 'em, fun game. I'm giving this to the Baltimore Ravens at the end. Baltimore Ravens and Mr. Tucker will have a 55-yard field goal at the end of this game, and the Baltimore Ravens will pull it out by a point. Yes, I'm giving the Baltimore Ravens over the Cleveland Browns by a point in this one because Mr. Tucker's going to come through and hit a 55-yard field goal. It's going to be incredible. I'm telling you, I can see that happening. So let's just wrap it up, guys. Wrap this Thursday night football game up. Tonight, we definitely have the Los Angeles Rams rolling over the New England Patriots. I told you that is a lock game. I stand by that. And then the next game, you have the Bucs over the Vikings. We have the Cardinals over the New York Football Giants. We have the upset special of the week, the Miami Dolphins beating the Kansas City Chiefs. We have the Titans over the Jags, the Cowboys over the Bengals. We have the Houston Texans over the Chicago Bears. We have the Panthers beating the Broncos by a slim margin. We have the Seahawks over the Jets. We have the Colts beating the Raiders. We have the Washington football team beating the San Francisco 49ers. That's an up and in air game. Going to be very close. It could go in either way, but I'm giving the edge to Washington. Then we have the Eagles, another upset. Wow, this is mind-blowing. Another upset. Eagles over the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints will lose to the Philadelphia Eagles. Mr. Hurts will have his first game, his first start, and his first win. It's going to be exciting. I think the Eagles will stop the New Orleans Saints offense. I could see it happening. Eagles aren't dead yet, guys. They are not dead yet. Then we have the Falcons over the Chargers. It's a nothing game. And then we have the Green Bay Packers over the Lions. We have another game that, could you say upset? I think it is an upset. I think the Steelers are favored over the Bills. But I'm calling the Bills over the Steelers in this one. And then, of course, the Ravens beating the Browns. Thank you so much, everyone. Keep safe. COVID is just out of control, the whole United States. Do yourself a favor. Do your loved ones a favor. Do everyone a favor. Seriously, stop being selfish. Wear a mask. Social distance. Don't travel during this holiday season. Really don't. Don't travel. Stay home. Zoom. Just seriously. You'll have another Christmas. You just will. You'll have another New Year's. It'll come. Seriously, I know you're young and the young kids, on all that. You just don't want to miss out. Seriously, you're not going to miss out. Do yourself, do your family, do everyone a favor. Stay home. Don't go out. Social distance. You seriously wear a mask, people. Have some dignity. Have some grace. Have some sympathy for the doctors and the nurses who are fighting this terrible pandemic. It is almost over. There is light at the end of our tunnel here, guys. There is light at the end of the tunnel. We have a vaccine coming. It'll be here for the to all the regular schmucks like myself. By the way, happy Hanukkah. The vaccine will be here. And it's going to be here probably like June, July, August. But it will be here for regular people. So hold on. And even then, we're going to have to still wear masks and stuff. It's just, seriously, guys, please have a happy holidays, happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, you name it, happy Festivus, whatever your floats the boat, wets your whistle. Have a wonderful holiday season. I'll see you next Thursday. Calvin Dean Show. Thank you so much for tuning in, everyone.